Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be diving into QR code generator and scanner using pure HTML, CSS and vanilla JavaScript. So the aim of the QR code generator and scanner application is to provide users with a versatile and user-friendly platform that enables them to efficiently generate QR codes from text and scan existing QR codes using their device's cameras. The application aims to streamline the process of creating and utilizing QR codes, enhancing convenience and accessibility for various purposes. And the main part and the most important part is the fact that we don't require any database. We don't require backend. We don't need to interface with database at all, as we are going to be using JavaScript um, for this project. So this is how it's going to be. We have an input field here. Anything you type into this input field, let's say www.nanoservices.com.ng. When you click on generate QR code, this is going to generate the QR code, and this QR code is going to be let's say when you save images, it's going to be in PNG. And also you can click on this download QR code icon just like this. As you can see, it has been downloaded. Also this scan your QR code right here allows users to initiate QR code scanning using their device's camera. It displays a live camera feed for scanning QR codes, detect and decode scanned QR codes, revealing their content. As you can see, the interface is user friendly, and anybody can do this from scratch. So I'm going to be writing the codes from scratch, from generating the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript that is doing all this. So by clicking on start scanning, as you can see, it's starting my camera, and you can see my camera right here. So without wasting much of your time, let us get on with the tutorial. Please, if you are new to my channel, hit the subscription button down below, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I'm dropping a new video just like this one, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Alright, now that we are set up, the very first thing we need to do is to create our files that we are going to be working with. So we need to create a folder called QR code, and at the same time we are going to be creating HTML file, CSS file, and a JavaScript file. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to create maybe, let's say, open a folder. Let us open a folder. Alright, so we just come to desktop, and I'll create my folder right here. New folder, and I'm going to name this QR code, just like that. Then I will select this folder. Okay, let us wait for the application to respond. Then after this application has responded, we are going to be creating HTML, CSS, and a JavaScript file. So the application has responded already. We are going to be creating our files. Number one file. I'm going to click on this plus icon right here. Remember, you need a I'm using VS Code for my code, so I'll be writing, this one is going to be index.html, just like that. Index.html. Then I'm going to create another one that says styles.css. I'm creating another one, styles.css. Then another one called app.js. app.js. Sorry, it's still creating style.css app. Okay, let me wait for it. Now the next thing for me to do is to create another file called app.js. I'm going to click this plus icon. I'm going to click it app.js. Just create that. Let's leave it as it is creating. Now that our app.js is ready, we need to start writing our code. Now let us get started with index.html. Let us write all our HTML code here. So I'm going to say HTML. So because I'm using VS Code, Visual Studio Code, it's going to suggest so many things for me. So I'm going to select HTML5 right here, and I'll click enter. So this is going to create an HTML skeleton for me. So I'm going to change the title. I'll change the title to QR code generator and scanner. So next thing for me to do is to start writing our code. Then I'm going to be using an external CSS, which is this style.css. So I will link to it. This is CSS. I'll select CSS here, and it's saying style.css, but our file name is not style, it's styles, which is plural, and I'm going to save it. Right now, next thing for me to do is to start writing the code, but I want you to understand something. I have installed a Go Live plugin extension on my VS Code, which is this. Once I click it, it will open my browser for me. So anytime I'm saving my codes right here, it will be displaying directly on my browser. So let's check it. Okay, it's not working yet, so it's still starting. Once it's live, we'll be able to see it that it is live. Now, right now, the next thing for me to do is to start writing the code. So we need a div tag, div tag, just like this. I'm going to close it, div. Now inside this div, before we do anything, we need to give it a class. So the class name is container. That's the class name. Now inside the div tag, live server extension. Okay, server is started at port 580. I'm gonna close it. It has opened here. Now it's working. This is our application. This is our application right here. So I'm going to place it side by side so that we'll be able to see everything that we are doing live. Let me make sure this is working fine. Okay, we have our container. So inside this container, we have h1 tag. This is h1, and inside that h1 we have QR code generator and scanner inside the h1 tag. Let me close this. Let me collapse it so that now below the h1 tag, I'm going to be having another div tag, div. Now inside that div tag, I'm going to be having my generator. So the class of this one is going to be, I'm going to give it a class generator. So this particular div tag is the one that is going to house our QR code generator. So inside it, we'll be able to type and have a button and a download link to download the QR code that we are going to generate. So that being said, so let us get on with the with our code. Another thing I'm going to do is to have a h2 tag right here. This h2 tag is going to say generates QR code. After that, I'm going to have an input here, which is going to hold the text for us to generate. The type is text. Then we have an ID. The ID is going to be QR text, just like that. Then we have placeholder, which is okay, let me see. Placeholder, which is what is going to be inside the input field. Enter your text. That is what we are going to have right there. Then after the input, we need a button. So we need a button just like this. So the button ID is going to be generate btn, generate button btn. I'm going to say generate QR code. So after the button, the next thing for us to have is an ID that holds a QR code, and it's going to be inside a div. So this is what is going to now be a sort of placeholder for the ID. So once you click on generate, this is where the code is going to appear. So I'll say div. So that is going to be empty, and the ID is going to be QR code. That is going to be the ID. So the next thing for me to do is to add a link. So this link is going to be what you are going to use to download the generated QR code. So I'm going to have a link, a href equals, going to add hash sign there, then download QR code .png. That is what the QR code is going to be converted to. It's going to be converted to a PNG file. Then the ID equals download btn. Download. This one is going to reference to the download button. So I'll close it. Then the link is going to say download QR code. QR code. So now you see how it is. That is going to house the link that is going to download the QR code. Now, can you see it right here? You can see what we have. Let me refresh it. Let me save this, Ctrl S to save. Now, this is the enter your text. This is generate QR code, and this is download QR code. So right now, we are done with QR code generator, the HTML structure. The next thing for us to do is to go to the scanner structure. This is where it's going to be. Remember, this is the generator div. This is the div. This is where it's ending. I'm going to be creating another div right here, and it's going to be housing the QR code scanner. We are already done with the generator. So div, come down, then the class is going to be scanner, just like that. Remember, everything is still under this container. Okay, it's under the container. Then I need to have h2 also right here, and this is going to be scan your QR code. Let's save it and see what the result is. Say the result, scan your QR code. Now, the next thing for me to do is to have a button. So, which means you have to trigger the button. You have to click the button before the camera will be triggered. Understood? So, H2, scan your QR code. Then I need to have a button. This button is going to have ID, and it's going to have start camera start scan btn. So this is going to trigger the camera of any device that the person is using. So this button is going to say start scan. Let's say start scanning to make it more descriptive. Now, below this button, after you click the button, we need a video that is going to be triggered. So the video is what is going to now capture the scanning. ID equals QR video. That is going to be the ID. Now, the video is going to be autoplay, and it's going to be play inline. Okay, right. So after the scanning, we need a div that is going to bring out the results of the scanning. So this is div. Okay, this div, and its ID is going to be scan results. scan. Yeah, scan. That's what it's supposed to be. Scan results. All right. Now close the div. Automatically, this is generated for me. Let me save it. Control S to generate, to save. And this is what we have. So start scanning. We have this. Scan your video. Then we have this right here. Now let's save again. Okay, now this is what we have. The next thing for us to do is to now start adding styles. So I'll come here. Let's open our style file. All right, now it is time for us to start adding styles so that all these buttons will not look just like the way it's looking right now. So the very first thing I need to do is to start with the body code, the body, everything. So I'm going to say body. This is body, and body. Come down. Okay. Font family. Font family. Just like that. I've selected it. Font family is going to be Arial, sans serif. Let me just select this one. Let me close this. Okay, that is the body. The body still continue. Margin is going to be 0. Margin equals 0. Padding is 0 also. Padding equals 0. And that's all for the body. Then the container class, the container class, remember, let me go back to the HTML. This is the container class, which is going to house both the QR code and the scanner. So the container class is going to be display. Let's say display. It's going to be flex. I wanted the display to be flex. You see, VS Code is suggesting the possible things that I'm supposed to add to display for me and everything that I need. And flex direction, I need flex direction. Flex direction equals column. You see, column. Let's just select column right there. Our flex direction equals column. Then align items. Align items. I'm going to be aligning it to center. So I'll just select center right here. Then margin top is going to be 50 pixel, which is the margin from top is going to be 50 pixel. I'm going to set margin, margin, yeah, it's not there. This is margin top. I'm going to add 50 pixel, 50 px. All right, so that is it. Let me save it for us to see what we have. You see, it's now aligning it center, and I have 50 pixel up. This 50 pixel up. All right, so I'm done with the container. The next thing for me to work on is the dot generator. The div generator and the div scanner, the generator class and the scanner class. So scanner, going to add dots to signify that is a class. Scanner. All right. The width is going to be 100%. Width for both scanner container and generator container is going to be 100%. 100%. All right. Then the max width is going to be 400 pixel. Max width, that is it. It's going to be 400 px. What else? Margin is going to be 20 pixel. Padding is going to be 20 pixel. Margin is 20 px. Margin and padding is 20 pixel as well. All right, let us save to see what we have. As you can see, it's coming up gradually. So but I think right now we need to add border to our container, both the generate QR code and the scan QR code. So the border is going to be 1 pixel. So let's have a border for both the generator and scanner. Border is going to be 1 pixel, 1 px. Then we add let's make it solid, solid, and the color is going to be the hexadecimal color is going to be CC, just like that. Yeah, I think this is okay. Let me save it to see what we have. So you can see this is the border. Okay, so the border is too the border corner radius is too sharp. I'm going to add border radius. Border, okay, I have radius here, and the radius is going to be 5px. I think that should be all for now. Let me save it to see what we have. Okay, as you can see, we now have a curved edge, but that is too small for me. I'm going to be making it 20 px. Control save. That worked for me. Okay, next thing for me to work on is the H1 and the H2 the H1 and the H2, which is the QR code, generator and scanner right here, and these ones. So H1 comma H2 text align. I'm going to align them. Text align. The alignment is going to be center. Let's save it to see what we have. All right, it's coming up. Then I need inputs. My input, I need to beautify it, which is this. I'm going to say input, the input, which the type is equals to text. Type equals text. Is this correct? All right, let's continue. Then we need button. Then the video. Yeah, these are the tags that I need to work with. Input, which is this one. Remember, we added a video that is going to show up. Okay, we have input, type, text, button, video. Okay, so the width is going to be 100%. Let's use 100%. Okay. Padding is going to be 10 pixel. That's the padding. And margin bottom, the margin to the bottom, which is margin bottom, is going to be, let's make it 10 pixel. Control S to save. Let's see what we have. Now we have this and this. All right. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Let me Control X, Control Save, Control Z. Okay, let's continue. Find solution to it later. What is next for us to work on? I think let's work on the button separately. Button. The background color of the button. I don't like the way it is. The background color should be, let's select which color should we use? Let's select brown. Brown, is that brown? Okay, let's just work with it. Then the text color is going to be white. Color, let's just use that as my FFF, which is white. Then what else do we need? The border. Border should be none. I want it to be borderless. Border equals none, none. Then the border radius of the button, border radius of the button. I want to make it the same radius with the container. I'm going to make it 20 pixel. Let's save it and see what we have. All right, this is exactly what we have. You can enter it here, generate. The QR code that is generated will be here, and that is it. The border radius is okay. What else should we do here? Okay, let's say cursor. How the cursor is going to appear? The cursor should be pointer. You see, right here is not working, like it's not pointing, it's just normal cursor. But when I save it, Control S, as you can see, is now pointer. You can now point it. Okay, then another thing we need to do is button. Okay, we still need to work on the button. I'll say button. Button, then hover. If they hover over the button, I want the color to change when they hover. Background color should change to, should we use black? Okay, let's use black. Let's save it. That is it. Okay, now we are working, we are making progress. Next thing for us to do, we have an ID that is called QR code. We have an ID called QR code. If you remember, QR code. Texts align. Make it center. Margin top. the margin to the top. Margin top should be 10 pixel. 10 pixel. Okay, what else? Margin to the top 10 pixel. I think that should be all. Then we have another ID called download btn. Download btn, which is this. That is going to trigger the download. Download btn. Display equals display should be block. Okay, display block. Text should be aligned center. Text align center. What else? Margin top. Margin top should be 10 pixel. I've used 10 pixel a lot, so I'm going to be using it throughout my my project to be consistent. Now I have the download, and here we are good to go. The next thing for us to do is to start writing our JavaScript code to make everything work right here. So to start writing our JavaScript, I'm going to save this one more time. It's time to start writing our JavaScript codes. All right, so let us analyze what we have here. Index.html, we come here, we have this ID, keyword text. Then we have the generate btn. Where's generate btn? This generate btn. Then some other things right here. So I've written all the elements that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be needing, I need QR text, generate btn, QR code div, right? Then I need download btn. Okay, so we are going to say const. Sorry about that. Yes, const QR. We need to be careful right here. We need to make sure everything is as we have used it in the HTML part of this. I'm going to say QR text equals document dot get element by ID. I'm going to get the element by ID. Elements by ID, and the ID is what? The ID is equals to, the ID is QR text. All right, let's go to the next line. It's going to say const. Okay, generate btn. Generate btn. Sorry about that. Generate btn, which equals to documents dot get element by ID. Generate btn. The ID is generate btn. Sorry. Generate btn. Okay, that is generate btn. Then const QR code div, QR code div, equals QR code div equals so yeah, document dot get elements by ID QR code. Okay, then the next one is const download btn equals documents dot get elements by ID equals download btn. Okay, now that we are done with all our consts, let's start getting our hands dirty. So I'm going to say generate btn dot add events. See, add event listener has to listen to the event. Add event listener. Going to say this is click. Should be able to click that. Hope this is not going to mess me up. Okay, I hate writing JavaScript because just so many things for us to do. Click, then I'm going to open another just like this. I'm going to say equals that's bring it down. Okay, generates this. Then I'm going to add const. The const is going to be inside, then text equals QR text dot value, need the value. Then we need an if statement right here. We are going to have an if statement if the text is like this. Then let us have everything we need to have here. QR code div, which is this QR code div dot inner. After writing everything here, I'm going to explain what the code is doing. So let us just write the code right now and I will explain it later. Inner HTML equals this. I'm going to close it. Then const QR code equals new QR code equals new QR code. Is that correct? Okay, QR code equals new QR code. Then inside the bracket, QR code div, which is below QR code div, comma. Okay, this. QR code div text. What is the text? It's text. comma, width. That's the width. It's going to be a square, so width 128, comma, then height is 128, also 128. Then there's no need to add a new comma right there. Just going to close this. Then below this, I'm going to have something, download btn dot the href for the download equals QR code, QR code div. Okay, that's the QR code div. The QR code that's inside the div tag, which is going to display the QR code, dot query selector, should be query selector. Let's say query selector. It's going to be in canvas now. Canvas, then outside this dot to data URL, to the data URL. Okay, it's going to be image or PNG. Image, the image is PNG. That is what this one means, which is what is expected to download. Let's close it. Now I'm going to say download btn dot style dot display equals block. Okay. What is next for us to do is okay, let me just, I need to know where this, it seems like I have not closed this if statement. I have everything here. Where did I close this one? This is closed here. No, this is closed here. Okay, let me do this. Let's see. Declaration and statement expected. Let's say this. Const is expecting something like this. Let me just close it. Just save. Okay, const is saying expected something this way. Okay, so since this is saying we are expecting something, this is supposed to have this. I mean, Control X. Now add it here. Okay, that works. Control save. Okay, let's see something. Generate. Nothing is working because we are not done with our core coding. Now, const QR video equals documents dot get element by ID. Get element by ID. Be QR video. Let's close it. Then const dot start scan btn dot href equals documents dot get elements by ID. Get element by ID. Scan results. No, this is not supposed to be scan results because it's starting the scan. Okay, it's going to be start scan btn. Start scan btn. JavaScript is very complicated, but const. Then we have scan results. Scan results equals document dot get element by ID. And this is scan results. Okay. Then we have start scan btn dot add let me see if I'm still recording. Add event listener. Add event listener. It's going to be click events. Click. Is this supposed to be like this? Okay, click. Okay, it's going to be like that. Then we have something like this. Down. Okay. Okay, we're going to have QR video standard dot style dot display equals block I'm going to say navigator dot media media devices dot get user media. Going to get user media. Then this, open this inside. There's going to be video. It's going to be facing mode. Environment. Environment. Facing mode environment. Dot then stream equals this, then this, QR video dot src objects dot source objects equals stream const scanner equals new insta scan. Scan dot scanner. Going to have this video QR video scanner dot add listener. No, not add events, just add listener. Going to be scan comma content going to be scan results dot inner HTML equals scanned QR code. Scanned QR code. I'm going to put it in the variable, and I'm going to call it content. Alright, content. So after this video, I'm going to publish the whole JavaScript description and everything you need to know about the JavaScript on my website, on my blog, so you can check it out for you to understand everything about what I'm doing right now. Okay, so content, then I have insta scan dot camera, scan dot camera dot get camera dot get camera. So then cameras, then cameras, let me save it, save this, then cameras, and cameras, if I have an if statement here, if cameras dot length is 0, scanner dot start then cameras 0, then else, if this is not true, else console dot error, going to say no cameras found. If this code did not find any camera on the device, it's going to say no cameras found, full stop. Going to end it here. Then okay, so no camera found. Okay, so let's start from here. Okay, I'm not, so now there's no camera found. All right, so let me say dot catch error dot catch error console dot error There's an error accessing cameras. I'm going to say there's an error accessing cameras. Okay, so let me see this. Start scan. Nothing. Okay, remember we haven't put anything here. So right now below this I'm going to add script, which is source. Is going to be app, which is this app.js. Ctrl S to save. Now if we say start scan, you see it's telling me to allow camera. Now I've allowed the camera and now the camera is working. Okay, so okay, now the camera is working. Let us test our QR code. Let's see, generate. Okay, the QR code is not working. Oh, I have an oversight. I think there is something I'm supposed to do. There's an external CSS that external script that I'm supposed to add. Let me add it here. External CSS that external JavaScript, which is a QR code script that I'm supposed to add. Ctrl S to save. Let's see if this is going to work. Generate. This is not working. And this is supposed to work. Ctrl S. Okay, so let me remove it from here. Ctrl X, save. Let me add it in the head. Let's add it in the head. Ctrl V, Ctrl save, Ctrl S to save. So after so much struggle to make sure this is working, so I've been able to make it work. So I'm going to be pasting all the codes that I have rewritten. This is the JavaScript that I have rewritten. Now I'm going to save it and we are going to test our code right now. Let me save again. Ctrl S. Alright, so if I add www.nanoservices.com.ng to this input field, I'm going to generate it. As you can see, this is it. The barcode has been generated, and by hovering over it, you can see it says nanoservices.com.ng. Now, if I click on download QR code, this QR code is going to be downloaded. Now the PNG QR code has been downloaded, so I'm just going to view it for you to see. And that is the QR code. So if you scan this, you'll see that you get exactly www.nanoservices.com.ng. So that being said, now that we've tested this one, because I'm using system, I'm using PC, I won't be able to scan this, and my camera is not that good, but I can test it for you to see. Yeah. So let's test this. As you can see, this is working now. Thank you for watching.